Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a profile on a young and upcoming cyclist in the women's division, Cat Ferguson from the United Kingdom. She's just 18 years old. In fact, she just turned 18 back in April. She's riding seriously for about 5 or 6 years, but in the last year, she has, maybe a year and a half, she has really burst on the scene and she is winning a lot. She is on the Movistar team, which doesn't have a lot of really big names, but Leanne Lippert, who had some success at the World Championships just last month, September, is kind of one of the team leaders there. But really what we're seeing from Cat Ferguson is that she won both the World Championships junior road race and the individual time trial in late September in Zurich. Dominant performance in the time trial. I think if we look at the numbers there, she won by 34 seconds over Victoria Kladnova, who is also having a great year, and Imogen Wolf, also from the United Kingdom, who's doing absolutely fantastic, not only in the road racing but in the time trials. And I think when we look at some of the statistics for the year, we see that Cat Ferguson has been winning not only in road races but in gravel as well. Her gravel profile here shows races going back to last year, including the World Junior Championships where she was second, the team relay where she was second, and a lot of World Cup races where she was in the top 5. I mean, her profile is pretty impressive, with single-digit results and lots of wins. But going back to this year, on the junior circuit, you can see again there's that road race World Championship and the time trial World Championship. But she also won some other races along the way, the National Championships of Great Britain for juniors. I mean, just look at this list. There's so many 1s and 2s and 3s on here, going back all the way into the spring. And in the spring, the East Cleveland Classic in England was an incredible race where she came back from a fall, went down pretty hard with about a lap and a half to go. I think it was a 4-lap race. If we look at the details on that, yeah, one-day race. I don't see the mileage on here, but it's 3 hours, so I'm assuming somewhere close to 120K. And again, she went down, got a new bike. Her team, the Shipton Hopetech Apex junior team there, went back and got her, brought her back up through the field, and she was able to then pull away at the end. Really tough uphill finish, and took the victory in that. So some pretty amazing resilience there when you take a fall on a steep hill and have to put in all that energy with your team to get back into the race, to be able to get to the front and win that race. Again, this year, World Championships in the time trial, that 34-second victory. And then in the road race, again, terrible weather. The women's side really got hit hard with this, both in the juniors and in the women's elite group. But there were breakaways throughout the day. You can see only 4 people ended up in that front group. Imogen Wolf had been there for a while, but it was really Ferguson, Ostis, and Kladnova. Megan Ahrens, I think she dropped a chain or slipped on a pedal. You can see there in the end of the race that's happening. I think it happened to her twice, and it's very interesting because both times it looked like Ferguson was on her wheel, and both times just narrowly avoided touching wheels and crashing. So Cat Ferguson's showing not only that she's powerful, but she's strategic in the road races. She's got the ability to go in the time trials, put her head down, and just crush everybody. But also great bike handling skills that you can see from not only those 2 moments at the end of the road race, but also from her results in the gravel races that she's been in. And we say, okay, well, she's a junior, but what happens if she races in the elite group? And last week we saw that she went out in the, I guess it's Binch or Banch, which is in Belgium, 117K, and a group of, well, we have 12 people in the final sprint. So in this race, we saw her be very cautious towards the end, staying on the wheel of Charlotte Kohl, who's a very successful women's elite rider, Christina Schweinberger of Austria, who did really well at the World Championships also, and Annalena Sala, also a great rider. But Kohl was having problems. I think she dropped a chain and then slipped out of her pedal at the end, and that cost her the race. And here we also see in 7th place, you had Daria Pikulik, who also had a really great World Championships in the women's elite group just last month. So even though a lot of the top riders weren't here, this was a well-represented race, and Ferguson got to take her points, top points, for the win here. Now today, she was racing in a women's elite race again in Italy, the Giro dell'Emilia Internazionale. So I'm guessing it's in Reggio Emilia in north central Italy. And Elisa Longo Borghini did win that race over Evita Muzic and Juliet Labous. And down in 82nd place, we find Kat Ferguson. And I'm wondering if it's just fatigue now after 3 or 4 weeks of just brutal racing, you know, winning the time trial at the World Championships, winning the road race, then going out and winning Banch last week. And now in this race, I mean, terrible weather from what I can see. The field split early and often, and the group she came in with was about 6 minutes back. So real interesting also to look at the rankings. The new rankings from the beginning of October show Kat Ferguson in 159th place. And again, if you think that that's not all that great, remember she's 18. And if you look here at the rankings, you see that she is new to the rankings. Now, what makes that so impressive is that means that in the last month, she has gained enough points from going off the list, which is 1,200 riders strong, to 159th in the world. So an absolutely incredible run. Again, Kat Ferguson, absolutely stunning results. Definitely the rider to watch over the next year or so in women's cycling. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this profile, and we'll see you next time.